Hi, I'm Patricia Allingham Carlson, and this is a fun one. It's a watercolor demonstration of my ink and watercolor caricature birthday card. I've been called upon many times over the years as an artist to use my humorous side and paint caricatures for different clients. With photo references and the client's ideas, I've had a lot of fun with cartooning. I hope you'll enjoy it too. Please click a thumbs up if you do, and subscribe to my channel. Now let's cartoon for something a little different. I was commissioned to do a greeting card, and it was a birthday card. And it was a funny request because the person requesting it wanted to show someone in great fear of seeing a big number on their birthday card. In order to get the position of the person as requested, on their back, arms and legs up in the air, fighting over a dark cloud of an approaching birthday. I asked my spouse to take some pictures of me in the same position. I looked pretty silly. But he did so, and then I used my position as a reference photograph on my iPad to copy the position. When I'm given a commission for a caricature such as this, I start out with a pencil sketch. Once I have it right, I'll add whatever symbols, pictures, or words that the client has requested for me to add to this funny little parody. In this case, the client asked me to make a big dark cloud with a big birthday number hanging in the middle of it. The recipient is pictured flat on her back, fighting off this big dark cloud of the age of 50. Satisfied with that sketch, we move it to the inside where the client has asked me to end this on a happier note, with the person realizing that 50 is a number that can be certainly appreciated and enjoyed very, very much. So I looked around for a photograph of a happy woman dancing on top of a table. And I'm using the position of the figure I found as a reference photo. So again, I'm sketching in the form of the inside, and then I'll be adding the words that the client has requested. I'm using simple block letters and filling in the words. I've given myself a straight line with a ruler to arrange my block letters on and keep them somewhat neat. With the sketch done, I'm ready to paint. I use watercolor for these kind of caricatures and then clean them up with some ink pen. First, I'm erasing my sketch lines that help me to figure out how to put the drawing together. Once it's nice and clean, I come in with my watercolor paint. It's important for me to block the clean aspect of the paper with another piece of paper or something else so I don't splatter on it and keep the whole presentation nice and clean. I'm starting in around the figure prone on the lawn with some basic grass forms. I start with some lines and then I add some washes of color, just to give the feeling of some lawn. I am being careful not to paint on the figure because I want the figure on top of the lawn and not the other way around. I jump onto another part that's still dry and I'm applying some dark Payne's gray for the cloud form. I put it down and then I smear it around because I want it to look like a cloud and be sort of blurry around the edges. I throw some lightning bolts in and some angry eyes, along with the dreaded number that the client wants me to convey on the card. I'm trying to use scary colors here. The best manner I've found of painting these caricatures, skin tones, and clothing is to outline the form first with the basic color of the skin or clothes. I use a darker color for this part. In this case, I'm mainly using some burnt sienna, and I've thrown in a little bit of permanent pink for this client's skin tone. I outline the features on the face as well. Generally around the hairline. And then I'll mix up a fill-in color, which is a little lighter. Now, the reason I approach it this way is to create some shadows and some shading value in the skin and clothing, which I think adds to the caricature. The lines I painted first will remain darker. Skin done with watercolor, I move on to the clothing. And when I do the clothing, I try to show some folds and some conformities of the body. Just to show the form and some dimensions. Outline first and then fill in. In order to make the client's drawing request stand out against the white background, I'm adding some jaggedy, scary mountains off in the distance. And putting in this darker tone around the form makes the form stand out more. I'm also trying to add to the ominous qualities, such as the client requested. Some hair color being added. Blue for the eyes. And then the shirt. This really is a fun project. I like to be funny in my art sometimes, and this request was sort of funny. So I'm having a very good time doing this. With the watercolor done for the beginning of the card, I move to the inside, and again I clean up my sketch work so the drawing is nice and clean. Here we have the happy woman being wished happy birthday and dancing on the table because life is still good. So it's a funny card, poking some fun, but with a kind and happy message. That it's not so bad to be 50, and you could still have some fun. As with the front, I'm outlining the skin color with a darker shade, adding shadows and some anatomical definition where it would show. Outlining the features. And filling in the skin tone again. With the dress, I am also outlining some folds and some body contours. I've seen many great cartoonists, and they all work in their own unique and interesting styles. This is what I've found that works for me over the years. And I've had many requests for caricatures, and I'm always happy to comply for a paying client. Again, I'm keeping my page clean so I don't splatter on the finished side by putting a piece of paper down to block my messiness. And I'm filling in the letters now. I'm trying to use happy, bright colors and patterns for this part to convey a happy message to the recipient. I'm adding confetti, balloon, stars, happy symbols for the person dancing on the table. I also fill in the table and add a knocked over drink at the woman's feet. And then I begin with my ink pen. I am outlining basically everything in a cartoon type of manner. This cleans up the presentation very nicely. It presents as a caricature with drawing and color. And presents an overall nice product. I'm keeping my outline fairly freehand and loose. This is a style that I use and it works for me. Moving to the front, I am now outlining, and you can see how it brings out the eyes and some of the other aspects like the lightning bolts. Cleaning it up, I'm pretty close to done. I have to clean up the edge of the paper, of course. But it's a 50-year-old. It says, good news, 50 is the new 40. I hope you enjoyed my caricature birthday card video and that you had some fun too. Maybe it gave you some ideas for your own work. I hope you'll give it a like, and I'd appreciate your comments. See you next time.